So, gems it is. Magic mirror. So, anybody who's watching, I don't know if you recall, but we did actually start a draft with the magic mirror. Did we start with the magic mirror, or we picked one up along the way? We played one game with it, and I think everybody pretty much agreed that it's not something you want to play in limited. When does thorough draft start? I have no idea. I would have to look at their, that is to say, at Wizard of the Coast's website to see that. I really don't know. I am looking forward to it, though. I will say that. Okay, so as I was saying, Magic Mirror is not something that I want to play in limited. We tried it once, and it was just no. I don't think so. Other options here are not great. Forever Young, I'm not crazy about first picking it. Flutterfox is okay. The Paladin, also okay. This Paladin, the Green Paladin, actually I feel like this might be the best. This has been a strong performer every time I've seen it, and Curious Pair is also fine. This is not a good pack at all. The alternative is All That Glitters. Try to make that work. I don't know how I feel about that. Everything else. So, you know, my original look at everything, I think the Garenbrig Paladin would be my first pick, and I'm not real keen on that. If anybody has any thoughts, hello 5. Your timing is amazing. You're always here right at the beginning. So I don't know how much of my comments you've heard. We do not have a particularly impressive pack here. Okay, so the ones that catch my eye. Gotta love the ads. So we played Magic Mirror before. I think we pretty much agreed we don't want to play that unlimited, so we're going to bypass that. The other cards that I would consider are Flutterfox, Vantress Paladin, maybe Forever Young, the Garenbrig Paladin. Those are the only ones that I would really consider. I guess the Shambling Suit and try to make artifacts work. The advantage of the Shambling Suit also is that it keeps you more open. But as I say, this is not a terribly impressive pack by any means. So based on power, I'm actually liking the Garenbrig Paladin. It seems to always be a good performer. Dispute. What dispute? Oh, the Mystical Dispute. I have not been real keen on the Mystical Dispute, to be honest. So I've already mentioned one more time. Everything else, I think I would be drawn to the Garenbrig Paladin as my first pick. Right, and I did have that in the back of my mind. Green is a very solid color in this. You do like the Mystical Dispute? Yeah. No, I'm liking the Garenbrig Paladin. Yeah. That was my initial inclination to begin, and yeah. Hello, Misaki. Good to see you. By the way, I mentioned it in my introduction, well, although I don't think anybody heard it yet. The pairings for our Discord server's first arena are up, so all participants are encouraged to go and check that out. To Milbois. You got me? I don't know what you're saying there. Okay, this is a much better pack. Syr Alin is strong. The Animating Fairy is strong. Trapped in a Tower is fine. The Muscle is fine. I feel like all of those. Trail of Crumbs is also good, assuming you can get some decent food synergies going. 4 for First Strike, blah, blah, blah. My inclination at this point would be to go for Syr Alin or the Out Muscle. I do like Syr Alin. You know, even without the additional ability, the additional text, a 4/4 first striker for 5 is, you know, something that cannot be easily ignored. And of course there's Secret Keeper, but I think you all know I'm not real high on Secret Keeper, especially if we're not going to be getting, you know, 4, 5, 6, or 7 of them. So Syr Alin, I think, would be my pick at this point. If there are any thoughts, great. If not, that will be it. Let me check my monitor real quick. Out muscle, it is a strong one for sure. Obviously that was in contention. Okay, let's get rid of that. So you like the crumbs. Crumbs is obviously very good if you have the food synergies going, but I think I'd prefer to take it once I felt like I had some of that going. And of course the advantage to the out muscle is it shores up our green. I'm fine with that. Okay, as we move on. Not too late for the Trail of Crumbs. The Sorcerer's Broom actually would have been another payoff for a food deck, but you know, same as before. If I don't know that I'm heading towards foods, it doesn't grab me. This is costs 2. All right. So meanwhile, we could go mono green or head towards mono green with the Thunder Snapper. The Snapper is in the bottom half, I think, of these quad hybrid cards. Insurance papers. That sounds like fun. The Sorcerer's Room, again, is strong if you can move in that direction. That is true. And that was in the back of my mind as I was saying that. So the floor on this is a 4/4 for 4. And I feel like in a typical game, you're going to get maybe 1, 2 cards if you're fortunate. So is that worth it? A 4/4 for 4 with, you know, 1 or 2? I don't know. And I have not yet played with this card, so I have no actual experience with it. Drawbridge, I don't think so. And we could speculate into blue with one of these others. Stick with green with that. I'm willing to take the Snapper. And you know what, if nothing else, new experience. So yeah, let's go with that and let's see what happens. Okay. So if you want to stay mono, the Prophet of the Peak actually would pair with the Snapper. So that's kind of something. What is that mana cost 5 or greater? If we stay green, then we have only these two. He is a non-human. He is a non-human. I think I'd well, we will be seeing plenty of these Prophets as we go along. I'm fairly sure of that. Having said that, I feel like either the Tome Raider or the Flutter Fox might be okay as a possible second color, because I'm not real keen about either of these. Anybody out there have noteworthy experiences with the Wildwood Tracker? It's a 1/1 for 1, which is and it could attack or block as a 2/2. Low mana. If you recall correctly, now low curve mono aggro decks are tier 1. Right. So you're liking the Wildwood Tracker in multiples, I guess. That's interesting. As our curve starter, and then we go into those. If I'm understanding your comment correctly, again, the lag sometimes makes the dialogue less than crystal clear to me. Okay. I like the way you're thinking. Sounds good. The Merrily Fought Rider is fine in such a deck. Let's see if make sure we're not missing out on anything else. The Jousting Dummy, I think I like the Rider better than the Dummy. Especially with green. Yeah, with green there's a good chance we'll end up with some foods lying around. Oh, the Acolyte. Okay, yeah, that's... Oh, the Rampart Smasher. I think it has to be the Smasher. Yeah. I like it. Wolf's Quarry does not excite me even a little bit. Although it does give us our foods if we engineer things accordingly. The only other possibilities would be a second color, like a melee in case we splash a little green, and of course green is the color for splashing. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Fell the Pheasant. The Cabin might not be bad. Fling and Drawbridge. The Drawbridge actually could be a thing to help an aggro stance. Of these, I'm liking the Drawbridge or the Cabin, I think. Hey, Deb. The Beanstalk. Okay, thoughts on that? In general, I always do avoid taking these enchant your own creature things because I really hate the being 2 for 1s. Misaki, have you got any thoughts on 5's comment there? If I skip the Beanstalk, I would be looking instead towards the Gingerbread Cabin or the Crashing Drawbridge. I think I actually like... Yeah, I think I actually like, of these, the Gingerbread Cabin a little bit better. Okay, that's true, but the other side's mana is going to open sooner or later, and you know, and then after it opens, once they remove the creature, then you're done anyway. Yeah, I understand what you're saying. That's true. You know what? That's fine. And, you know, if we miss out on a Drawbridge or a Cabin, it is by no means tragic. Let's give it a try. Okay, so here we have the Pair, or the Spider. The Spider is obviously more defensive, but it's a perfectly fine card. I think I like the Curious Pair better. It gives us the food that we might be looking for to help out the Marrowleaf. So I think the Curious Pair would be my pick here. Does anybody like any of these better? The Suit, the Walker? I think we mostly don't like the Weapon Rack. I guess you might make an argument for it. Pair would be my pick. Take a quick look as always. We go with that. Yeah. Hengewalker. I'm liking the Hengewalker here. A 3 for 3 is absolutely okay. Yeah, I like the Walker. You know, a colorless center courser, basically. The only other one that I can see anybody even possibly advocating for is the cabin. I feel like this is a better way to affect the board. And we got our crashing drawbridge anyway. Insatiable appetite, sure. Dummy, sure. Ogre, not likely. Ooh, Syr Alin. The halberd. The epic downfall is nice. And another melee. Forgive my ignorance, POG. Please explain. So I'm as I'm looking at these, I hate to pass up on some black removal, but the Syr Alin I think is strong here. Okay, I'm clueless here. It is good with pump spells. We don't have any. Well, that's not true. We have Tall as a Beanstalk, and we also have the Appetite. Okay. I guess I'm clueless, or maybe English is not my language. Sorry, Misaki. I have no idea what you're saying to me. What are you saying to me? Yeah, you're gonna have to spell it out like I'm an idiot. And I'm fine with that. Oops. This did not scroll forward. Oh. I think my restream has stopped working. Oh, I hate when that happens. Yeah, my restream has stopped working. Alright, I'm gonna have to keep looking at my monitor. Alright, so since people are not going to share with me what I need, I will simply take Syr Alin and keep going. There's another innkeeper, interesting, which is Oven. The ferocity would be really interesting if we were to splash red. But oh no, innkeeper. I was thinking of the tracker. So forget the innkeeper. I don't think we want him. I don't mind the ferocity. Did I disregard your comment? Okay, I did not. And I'm scrolling back. I am not seeing your explanation. I don't see it either on the actual channel chat or on my restream. Yeah, I'm just not seeing it. Okay. I feel like I've suddenly entered a foreign country because I am not following what you guys are saying to me. Okay. Sorry. My apologies, my friends. So here I'm actually kind of liking the ferocity of the wilds. Splashing, I think red for this could be pretty strong. We have no humans at all, I don't think. Yeah, I'm liking ferocity here. The truth is, I'm still not understanding. And I'm seeing the two of you are very excited about something. I still don't know what POG is. Just read the capital letters. I'm trying to. I'm seeing VIP gifter leader. Yeah. Pog equals very excited? How do you get from one to the other? This is new to me. How do you get from POG to very excited? I understand your frustration, but you're not understanding mine, I think. Okay. The smiley PogChamp stands for the very exciting emotion. Okay. I accept that. Sounds good. Or Poggers. Why not the Innkeeper? Do we have any adventures going? We have the Curious Pair, and that's it so far. Green does have a few, but we don't have any at all at this point. I feel like taking the Innkeeper is a hedge against taking future adventure cards, which not a bad thing. Ferocity already fits in well with what our deck seems to be doing. To splash red for a melee and a ferocity will not be difficult, I think. So we're likely to. There's a good chance we can pick up an Acolyte. Okay, I'll accept that. Beanstalk Giant. I think that's exactly what we're looking for here. I hear that. And this feeds our adventure anyway. It ramps us up. It gives us a big creature. I'm pretty sure Beanstalk Giant is our pick here. Clockwork Servant, not bad. Likely to get the card draw off of it. For Snapple, that is true. I had neglected that. You're quite right about that. Sarkar is great. I think the double red is not what we want, though. The only other alternative would be a main deck Return to Nature or another Carver. Oh no, it's our first Carver. I think Carver is good. I'm liking the Carver here. Does anybody think that we can have a good mana base that will enable us to play the Sarkar? Well, we're still only in pack 2, actually. I think the Sarkar has a higher upside. So now that I'm thinking about it, I'm willing to take Sarkar and See if the green-red build can support it. Having said all that, I've gone from the Carver to Syr Alin at this moment. Really, even over the black one? Okay. So if nobody has any compelling arguments for the Carver, I will proceed with Syr Alin. Another Rampart Smasher. That's looking fine. I think that's a snap, an easy one. Yeah, just making sure. Sure, a second Smasher is fine. Okay, so here we have only red. Oh, here's our Acolyte. I'm liking the Acolyte actually better than any of the others. I suspect you're correct about that, Misaki. Yeah, two Rampart Smashers is absolutely fine with me. I think the Acolyte is what we want here. It'll help us with any red that we might want to play. Helps us to get into our bigger guys. Unless somebody can make a compelling argument for any of these others. The Henchwalker. No, I'm really liking the Acolyte here. Okay, so without committing myself, I will usually use the word fine to mean that I'm willing to play it, but I'm not real excited by it. Good is a word that I'll usually use to mean that I will like actively include it over other things, and then I would just go from there. Something like very good or excellent. So the red cap is not bad. I do like the Acolyte better. I'm going to proceed with that. Another Talls and Beanstalk. Flaxen Intruder? Yeah, it's a human too. Roving Keep? Yeah. Okay, I hear you. And remind me, which card was that? For which card was I using these mixed descriptions? Death on humans. The Rampart Smasher? Oh, okay. So when I say I'm fine playing that, I mean, okay. So maybe I can't give you hard and fast definitions for everything that I say. I will try to be more precise in my word usage. I will try. Yes, I think for where we're going, the Smashers are very good, bordering on great. That is my feeling at this moment. Okay, I guess Fling actually, in case of the red splash. I think Fling actually is what we want. Smash, flash, crash. Fling it is. Scalding Cauldron, I think so. We don't have much in the way of removal. We have the one out muscle and the one melee. I like the Cauldron here. Dwarven Mine? No. The red cap? No. Cauldron. We don't have no removal. We don't have much. We have the out muscle and the melee, and I'm pretty sure that's all we've got. Another melee. That's okay. Okay, sorry. So let me rephrase that. The red cat melee intrigues me. Let's put it that way. This is basically a grizzly bear. Once in a while, you can get it in, as a temporary pump. I think 2 melees is fine. I think 2 melees is good. Boy, now you're having me second guess every time I use the word fine or good. We need new vocabulary. For this group, it's either the melee or the squire. Let's see what our curve is looking like. 3 removal spells so far. I'm going to take this dummy out for now. Innkeeper, maybe. I hear that. 5. And if I were teaching grammar or literature, I would say I agree with you 100%. I teach music, and so language precision is not quite as important, but language precision is important no matter what you do. So I will accept that. Good sounds like it is a really good pick. Fine sounds like, oh well, there's nothing better, so it's fine. In general, that is where I'm at on those terms as well. And if I sometimes use them in a manner that is misleading, I will try to do better. Having said all that, of the cards facing us right now, I'm thinking the squire is fine, but the melee is more like good. Yep. That sort of goes along with what I just said, so sounds... and here's our ferocity. One of you had made an argument for the Red Cap Raiders as a non-human payoff. I like the ferocity better. Yeah. 7 dwarves is a grizzly bear for us. He's non-human. Tall as a beanstalk. I can't imagine doing... Yeah, 7 dwarves. Why not? The Raiders comes back anyway. Fling. Mine. There's another ferocity. Okay, not much in the way of green here, but here's a ginger brute. This is a strong card. Obviously, we're not going to pick it because white is not the thing for us in this case. Another ferocity, no thanks. Raging red cat. I don't think so. Another appetite could be interesting, I guess. But I like the ginger brute better. The ginger brute gets pumped by our ferocity. It gets pumped by insatiable appetite. Conceivably tall as a beanstalk. Ginger brute is... I don't know how long ginger brute will go for. I don't think it'll wheel. But I think most of the bots are not going to necessarily take it as a first pickable card in a pack. So again, I'm kind of landing on the ginger brute right here. Archon is really nice. We're obviously very solidly in green. and red seems a very likely secondary color. I'm not going to mess things up for this Archon. We have to really water down our mana base to make this happen. Although we do have the Rosethorn Acolyte. Yes, of course. Please do. I'm taking the Ginger Brew. We're moving on. There's another Snapper. Isn't that interesting? Alright, what's our curve looking like? So we have a bunch of things in this mana slot. I don't know that I want to take another one. I thought I used to have the MTG bot. Is he no longer there? Yeah, I have MTG bot here. Have you been having trouble getting any of those commands to work? It may be that you well, if you look in the chat room, there you go. Okay. So again, here's our curve. I don't know that I want a second Snapper, actually. I think I would rather pick up a Carver. We already have one, is that correct? No, we don't. The Merchant seems good for the curve. I hear what you're saying. I think we do have enough red cards. Certainly don't want two Flings. Maybe not even one. The Carver is a human, and he's also a human. Oh, the Pathlighter. Isn't that funny? So I like the Snapper, but not a second one necessarily. The Merchant is fine. The Rimrock Knight? I don't know. Oh, look at that. So we have a greater audience all of a sudden. So I want everybody on their best behavior here. So thank you to the Magic Twitch channel for hosting us. Yeah, any new viewers who may be out there, we are always happy to get some backseat gaming in here. In fact, that's the whole raison d'etre for this stream. If you're just joining us, this is an GM Draft, of course. Clearly, we're solidly in green. Red seems to be a definite second color. We're into our third pack, and we're sort of dirtling about over various less than optimal possibilities. For the curve, let me go back. For the curve, I'm actually considering the Rimrock Knight. I don't know that we really have enough red to justify a knight, though. All right, that's not bad. Sure, the Hedgewalker I consider meh. Drawbridge I consider meh. The melees are good. Sure, let's put the Cauldron aside for now. The Tracker, I don't know if I consider that meh or not. I'm going to leave these two for the moment. The Snapper, Tall's the Beanstalk I do consider meh. It may well make it into our deck, given everything else that we talked about. I consider the Raiders kind of meh. And of course, if you guys disagree with my... that is true. Thank you. Thank you. In a mid-range deck. Sounds solid. The Appetite, I don't mind keeping one combat trick here for now. So given all those cuts, I'm liking the Garenbrig Carver at this point. There's another combat trick for us. So in answer to your thinking 5, I would say how imminent are your work needs? How urgent, I guess. I'm going to take the Carver here. Stay on our blue journey. Green is what I'm trying to say. The egg is fine. The Acolyte is fine. I would consider both of these to be between fine and good. I kind of like the egg at this point. For the card draw, we already have the one Acolyte. The banner, also not bad. Set it to green. Acolyte, egg, and banner. This helps with ramping a little bit, although we don't have really huge ramping needs. If that's the case, I'd say magic, magic, and then some more magic. Tell me what field you teach. If you told me, I've forgotten. Good call, because here's another Acolyte. And another egg for that matter. That's funny. Which do we like better? A second Carver, a second Acolyte, or a second egg? Work? Oh, that is the more responsible choice. I cannot fault you for that. Maths and physics. I'm impressed. You must be one smart guy, but that doesn't surprise me based on the quality of your observations here. So, second Carver, second Acolyte, second egg. I actually like the second Acolyte better. Maybe the second Carver. I like both of these better. Adventure over the egg. Good call. The Acolyte is less expensive. That might be something to consider. So having said that, Acolyte it is. So Tree Folk I think could be very good for us. The Halberd would be interesting. There's a new one for us. Interesting has no particular implication. And of course this would be very good on a Gingerbrute, assuming that Gingerbrute stays in play. Tree Folk costs 6 or 4 and 6. So it would be somewhere in here. Where's our Garenbrig Carver? 4, 4, 4, and 6. Yeah, I like the Tree Folk. Another Rider, another Sirkara. That's really interesting. That is really interesting. A halberd. These are both fairly upsidey kind of cards. I feel like this is mostly green, so I think a second Sakara is probably too greedy. And of course you can't have both of them in play at once anyway. Leaving us with one of these. We have mostly non-humans still, I believe. Let's check that. Oh no, Syr Alin is a human. He's also a human. Two of these guys, another human. So I think a Marrowleaf Rider, because we have a goodly number of non-humans. Really nothing here for us. Intruder. Maybe for the bear tokens. You know, conceivable but unlikely artifact or enchantment removal. I'm not seeing anything that I like better. You'll get errant. No, we don't have a lot of knights. Red cap. I don't think so. Aggro-ish. Non-human. But this is the kind of thing that if we see it early, we want to play it right away. Our mana base is probably not going to support that real well. But I think I do like it better than the Intruder. Okay, so for our likely mana, this makes more sense. For the deck in general, I think the red cat makes more sense. If there are any thoughts, let's hear them. And just as a side remark, while everybody's considering these very important questions, any new viewers, feel free to join our Discord. We're just starting our first internal arena tournament. Feel free to sign up for future ones. Just throwing that out there. Once in future, I guess. There's another crack at the red cap. I think once in future is what we want. This is very likely to be played for Adamant. Another Appetite, another Ferocity, that did wheel, obviously. Or the red cap. Don't want a second Ferocity, although that would be interesting if we had two in play. And the red cap. Actually, the red cap with the Tall as a Beanstalk, or with a couple of counters from the Beanstalk Giant could be interesting. Or a second Battle Trick. We already have a couple. Everything else being equal, I'm going to go with the red cap. We already have a drawbridge. Sure, let's take a knight. We have one henge walker. Did I put it in the sideboard? Yeah. Or the paladin. And he's human. Let's go with the Hengewalker. I think the spider just doesn't really fit into our deck, but we do not have anything against flyers, so let's add the one spider. And we end up with a paladin whether we want to or not, and we end up with a halberd whether we want to or not. Okay, so we need to cut 7 cards. And of course we could add any of these if we wish. And let's see what our current creature count is. Pretty high. So we have a lot of high-end stuff here. We have a tiny little bit of ramp. We have actually a good amount. We have 2 of these guys. Let's see. That's a lot of mountains. Let me see what my mana requirements may be. Obviously more green than red. Okay, a Flaxen Intruder is coming out. The Innkeeper. So how many adventures have we got? One, 2 maybe. So 2, possibly 3, 4, 5. Is it worth it for 5 payoffs? I'm thinking probably not. What happened to the tracker? Is he still there? What happened to our Wildwood tracker? I thought we picked him. There he is. Well, I'm not going to add him back in just yet. Rimrock Knight. It is a good trick, though, but again, I feel like we're going to be less likely to have red available to us. Let's leave it for now. Curious Pair. Food tokens can help. The only thing that's going to help are our 2 Marrowleaf Riders. So I don't know. Hengewalker, still not very exciting, so I'm going to take that out. Just making sure that my restream is working properly and that I'm not missing any comments that may be coming my way. 4 more cuts. Paladin is in general not so great. Let's take him out. Liking the Carver. Once in future, maybe, I don't know. The red cap, if it doesn't really get any of the benefits that are here, then okay, let's take out the Fling also. Two more cuts, maybe the egg. Although I do like the card draw and the fixing. The life gain, never a bad thing. Sirkara is, let's see, to a player. Oh, I understand. Okay. The spider, I think I'd like to keep the spider as a hedge against flyers. Food, and food. 2 more cuts. The halberd. Certainly good on some of our creatures. I'm going to take out the knight, I think. And 1 more cut. Maybe once in future. What does it look like if I take out once in future? And 1. Well, okay, here's a possible deck. If anybody watching has anything that they want to scream at me, scream now. Otherwise, we'll go with what we get. Let's see how much removal. We have 2 melees, we have an out muscle, and that is all. That might be enough. The cauldron, I think we can manage without the cauldron for now. especially in as much as we have no artifact synergies of any kind. And let's see. This, and so +2/+2. All right, so we have this guy, which will take a lot of doing. I think we can, given that we have an egg and 2 acolytes, I think we can get by with probably like 5 mountains. And we'll still be able to get him going. 5, and that'll still give us 6, 7, 8 mana sources for red or anything. Alright, let's try that out. Having said that, so let's bring this down to 6 maybe. And we want, so that's 15, I need 2 more forests. I'm okay with that. You know, getting stuff out in the graveyard is usually a good thing. The halberd, yeah, it is a little expensive to equip though, but that's okay. All right, I'm willing to try this. If there are any suggested changes, let's hear them now, or save it for after the first game. Go ahead. The light balance is about to change. Think nothing of it. What's the creature count? Okay, let's take a look at our creature count. It is currently 16. I feel like that's decent. With Gruul, you'll do like a fling. I hear that. What would you take out for the fling? Maybe the Insatiable Appetite. We do have the one. Where is he? We have the one Garenbrig Carver as a battle trick. And that's it. And the Insatiable Appetite is going to give us +3/+3, which can still be significant and relevant. And how many of our creatures do we truly consider to be expendable? Expendability is meaningless if you can fling for lethal, but often you can't. I'm going to leave the fling out for the time being. And sorry, I'm sorry to keep going back. I just want to make sure that we have all of our ducks sufficiently in a row. And let's see, so we have 17 lands, it's fine. I think the color distribution will work. Right, that's what I'm saying. If you fling for lethal, then it's great. But oftentimes that's not your situation. Okay, let's go with this and see how it plays. And as usual, my schedule constraints are fairly significant. I have to stop no later than 58 minutes from now. So that'll be enough for 1 to 3 games. We'll see. That's funny. I'm willing to keep. We can get him going on turn 4, which is pretty strong, and then we can equip him. I'd like to keep, I think, and hope that we can draw something good off the top of our deck. So I'm liking this as a keeper, and you know, we have plenty of the lands that we need. Although I can't add him into anything just yet. Okay, is anybody going to advocate strongly, weakly, or mediumly for a mulligan? I like this as a keep, I think. He's going to 6. Obviously, that'll help our cause. Guide Mother. Okay, not quite what we wanted. I'm not going to play the halberd yet because I want to be able to equip it for cheap. It is cheap, right? Yes. Actually, on turn 4, equipping the red cap could be a thing. Then it becomes a 3/3 double strike, which is nice. Let's see if we can draw some good stuff to make that a realistic possibility. Yeah. Melee is fine. I prefer to see it later in the game, obviously. Especially against a non-red deck. I did keep the spider. Yes, it should be here. I'm pretty sure. If we draw it right now, that would be, well, interesting. Got lands. Alright, so the only thing we can play, realistically, is this guy, but we're going to be taking a lot of damage in the meantime. Can we turn this game around? He's gonna get in for at least 4. He's gonna draw a card off of his Guide Mother. The melee is actually looking really nice on that. There's the spider. So actually, seems like a waste, but let's see, spider and melee, spider and halberd. Okay, I could either play the smasher or the spider and the halberd. I'm actually liking the spider and the halberd right now. That'll make this a 3 spider and melee. That's not bad. Okay, I like the call. It puts us back a turn, but yeah, that makes total sense. And leave a red open. Would you advocate to melee the guy now, or wait to do it on his turn? Right. Hello, Censor, please. It's good to see you. Before we chit-chat, do you recommend that I melee hit the Wandermere now, while he only has 1 mana up? I have a little bit of time to entertain responses, but not a lot, because I'm about to go to no timeouts. That's true. So, Censor, please, tell me about yourself. Welcome to our stream. Are you here as a result of the Magic Host? Or did you find us through some other way? I do need to kill it. I'm not going to argue with that. Alright, well I can still block. So that's good. And this is well, doesn't matter. Yes, please attack with your innkeeper. Okay, so let's get rid of the Wandermere now. And we're going to get rid of a Farce because we have plenty. +2 coming up. And we're going to block the big guy and let one through. Okay, so we can kind of hold things off a little bit. So Rampart Smasher is what we want. And maybe we can counterattack. Well, you found an ELD draft, that's for sure. And you are most welcome here. And if you have comments, as my regulars know, not only do I welcome comments, I actively solicit them. So if you have comments on any aspect of our gameplay here, then love to hear them. Why not attack with the red cap? Could be because that was an oversight. I'm thinking back foot and not attacking. If he has a trick, that's going to be bad for us. Well, there was our trick. Or that, indeed. So right now, I think we have to do the halberd and start counterattacking. Let's go with the red cap and spread out the threat. Okay, so I can't do anything about his flyers right now. Okay, and I think we need the food token. It'll help us with our rider on a soon to come up turn. And then we're going to hardcast the whatever this guy is called, the Curious Pair, to block his one guy. And if need be, I can re-equip something. I hear that, Misaki. Right, because we want the rider to attack as soon as possible, but I feel like I still need to prevent as much damage as I can manage. All right, I'm on this plus 2 more attacks, and I am done. I can gain a few life, that'll help. Or I can use it for the rider. Outmuscle is great. We're going to outmuscle. Oh, this is terrific. What a good draw. Okay, speaks of my knights or walls. Does he have any knights? I hear that. Does he have any knights out? No. So we're going to outmuscle. Heart of the cards, indeed. Make him a 6. Yeah, I think we have to do it this way. Okay. Let's see. So he has let's see, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I'm going to hold one guy back. 1, 2. He has to block at least one. He can block. No, he can't block him, so he has to block at least one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I have to hold both of them back. Yeah, I have to hold both of them back. As I said, I have to hold both. Was he a knight? I don't understand. Can't be blocked by knights or walls. Oh, but why am I thinking he's unblockable? What is wrong with me? And the rider, if I can keep stable, the rider will do really good work. Okay, you can block him. That's fine. If I can avoid using this food and live through this turn, oh, even better. Wow. All right. All right, let's get rid of his big guy. And I'm going to get rid of one of my forests. No, I'm gonna get rid of a mountain. If Syr happens to show up, then so be it. I did do it again. All right. Yeah, why did I think it was 5 damage? I don't know why I thought that. Okay, that's a punt. Type it in. To all listening, yes, I have MTG bot. So any of you who wants to punt. Yep. Yeah, not what I wanted. Let's see. If I attack him and I make him block, I need one of these two to get through. He'll have to block 1, 2. Yeah, that was a big punt. Do I have any good attacks? And I don't have a lot of time to puzzle this out. If I make him block here, then he has to block both of these guys. Yeah, I know it's my go. Or I could just pass the turn and hope to get a good draw. That's what I'm gonna do. Yeah, that was a big punt. He's gonna send his flyer in. Once in future, yeah, that's not gonna help me. Unless I melee something and send everybody in. Nobody good to melee because... Oh no, I have out muscle. Out muscle will do it. Alright, I'm gonna have to cash in this food and out muscle. Let's see, 3-4, but I can't do both. Alright, here's what I have to do. I have to wait until his turn. I'm gonna go to 1. Once in future, out muscle, and hope to draw a land. I think that's what it has to be. I would love to, but we did not include Fling in the deck. Too bad this doesn't gain you life. So what do we want? We want out muscle and melee. Yeah, I think that's what we want to grab. Out muscle and melee. What? Yes. Okay, that's the other land we needed. Does not hit. Okay, so we need to out-muscle him and melee, maybe the flyer actually. We need to get rid of him for sure. We're gonna out-muscle. It has to be him. Fights, okay. All green, good. I'm now going to send in the red cap. Hello, Prince Wang. That's one heck of a handle you've got there. Welcome to our stream. So a big shout out to Misaki who suggested the once in future. That was a lifesaver. Ooh, the Griffin. All right, that's probably a good one to melee. Don't need to. Boy, that was very close. That one punch really could have cost me the game if I had not top decked the once in future. So, I don't mind a little bit of luck. So, Prehensile, how did you find our stream here? Are you here from the Magic Host? Or were you looking for an Eldraine draft? Either way. Oh, thank you so much for the follow. I really appreciate that. Welcome to our little group here. Anybody who did not see the draft or the deck building, you want to see what we've got? Let's go ahead and go to that anyway, because the Fling could be a really good addition to our deck. So here we have a couple of Flings, which are not yet main decked. Hey, you know, the more the merrier, right? That's what they say, and I do believe that. Oh, and thank you, PW, Prehensile Wang. I love that handle. A big shout out, kudos to that. I love it. Thank you for the follow. My wife is working in the office with me here, and she was like, Bransel Wang? Yes, excellent. That is just it's terrific, just terrific. Okay, here's our deck. If anybody sees something. So I met Five Dodo some months ago here on Twitch, and he's worth stalking, I'd say. He's um he's a highly valued member of our community here. He he seems to try hard to be here at the beginning of all our drafts. He watches too much streams. Well, yeah, listen, that's your call. I don't know if there's even such a thing if you have the time for it. Okay, again, here's our deck. If anybody wants to add a fling, give me a good argument for something to pull it out in favor of. So I'll give you a minute or so to consider that before we go back to the trenches to try our second game. Pack one, pick one, by the way, in case you're curious. I do hear that. So, all right, let's put the fling in, try it out. But again, we have to take something out for it. Maybe the insatiable appetite. Insatiable appetite, again, can work pretty well in our deck. Putting it on the ginger brute, putting it on the red cap. So I am in general liking the other things we have better. Yeah. Hum is kind of what I've got on that. Hey, whatever keeps you going, right? Okay, if there are no comments, the fling is going to come back out. Spicy as it can be in the right place. One melee, one fling. That's interesting. I did misuse the melee before, and having a fling in hand at that point would have ended the game a heck of a lot faster. But again, that's kind of a confirmation bias. That was one situation. You know, I'm not sure what to say. The red cat melee is usually good. It's not so good at the beginning of the game because of the land sack. Let's go with that. So where's that fling? Let's put the melee back. Where are you? Okay. Let's stick with what we've got. And again, the only reason the game was even as close as it was because I simply misused the melee. If I had held on to it, we still would have been fine. Here we go. Game 2. And again, just as a reminder, all latecomers, I do have to end no later than 2:30, so we're looking at 1 or 2 more games. It is very cool to have both of these new folks in our chat. Absolutely. So I don't know if it'll come up from Nightbot, but I hope both of you will consider joining our Discord server. We have some very cool stuff going on in there. This is good. Turn 2 Rider, turn 3 Red Cap, Acolyte to help us ramp. I think this is fine. Does anybody even remotely think that Mulligan is worth considering? I would imagine the answer is no, but as old-timers here know, I often miss things. I often miss obvious things in various lines, so I'm happy to hear from anybody who is willing to point out such a thing here and now. Yep, works for me. Five does like to yank my chain, doesn't he? Sure, Forest. Acolyte, no upside there. Interesting that this seasonal ritual is only a sorcery. If we were stuck on farce and wanted to cast a melee as an instant, we would be high and dry. Whatever. Pee-wee Boy 27. Alright, well, I hope he doesn't see too many more of those guys. So my question right now is, if he attacks, should I offer to trade? Or should I agree to trade, I should say. He may have a trick. Barge in or something silly like that. This would not be a very high value barge in. So that's my question. If he attacks, agree to trade or not. My gut tells me not at this time. Have you folks been following the Theros Beyond Death spoilers? I've only been looking really at a few of them. I haven't been following them terribly closely. If so, what are your thoughts on the set so far? No offer to trade. Nor will I. Do we like the red cap? I actually like the Acolyte better, so we can ramp into our Paladin. Anybody have a problem with Acolyte now and Paladin next turn? If you have a problem with it, say so. Otherwise, I will proceed, and I don't want to take a lot of time. And I am not going to... I guess I could attack, actually. Puts more pressure on him. I am going to attack. Should have done that first. Unless he has some interesting effect that he would like to bring out. What could he possibly be thinking about? And of course I use the term he very, very generically. And if he does attack, I'm going to let it through because I do want to keep him intact. Unless he just burns it out with a dragon's fire, whatever it's called. As always, interesting to see how things play out. We have significantly more fars and mountains in the deck, but that's not the distribution at this moment. No problem, we're still fine. Maybe he has a bad connection. I know I've often had to slow games down a lot because of bad internet connections. So they may be suffering from that as well. So let's talk about politically correct pronouns. Or he's mana screwed. That was weird. That was weird. Alright. Okay, so I'm going to talk about politically correct pronouns before we proceed. In fact... okay, so we all know third person, singular. We have masculine and feminine for he and she, but because of our climate today, we often would like to use a gender-neutral, singular, third person, and most people just say they. So my wife and I came up with a new one, and that is Z, as in Z would like to do something, but that's an indefinite male, female, or gender in general. So Z. So he, she, and Z. Keep that in mind. And now we're going to get back to some magic. Yeah, because I was referring to my opponent and I wasn't sure which pronoun to use. That's what sparked that discussion. If you want to spark a different discussion, we could have a war. We could call it, I don't know, War of the Spark. There's a person trapped in my mirror. That is my better half. And I use that term very, very sincerely. I'm pretty sure this is going to be my last game. It is indeed. Boy. Well, I could start it with Syr Alin and hope for some... Boy, what a strange hand. Huh. What do y'all think? If I went... If my opponent was first, I would almost certainly mulligan. I can't... these are both dead right now. I think I have to mulligan. I mean, it's nice to get this out turn 2, but without other battlefield support, it's not terribly interesting on its own. I think mulligan is what we're looking for. Yeah. Slightly better. We're going to keep this and we're going to bottom one of the melees. Yeah. Does anybody disagree with the melee bottom? Bottom the appetite. Interesting. Carl surely plays red. Okay, I like the way you think. I will follow that. And we're going to trust... So in this case, not only do we have to trust our deck, we have to trust the other guy's deck also. Ginger Brute. Ugh. Well, if he plays no creatures for a turn or 2, then I will win. I will start to win the race. Mono black, could it be? Looking for those red terminants to target. Okay. Seven dwarf. Well, okay. There's a red target. There you go. Not the one I would really love to whack, but that's okay. Okay, can we draw some gas, please? Okay, that could be worse. Let's play the mountain. Let's play the brute with a green mana. Send it in with green mana. Send it in with green mana. I'm going to send in both of my guys, and if he blocks, I can whack it. Or I could whack it first and go in for 4. Whack and attack, or attack and whack? Which one? Whack and attack, or attack and whack? Alright, so I wasted a man on the ginger brute. Not a problem. Alright, we're trusting our deck to have some good follow-ups. Well, we could do the same thing again. Well, I'm glad we killed the first one. Okay, you're using foreign words for me. Alright, we're gonna take the 1. Kill one of them? What you think? Kill one of them? And take my turn? See if we draw something good? Like an out muscle? Ah, Syr the Bold is not bad. Interesting. Alright, so at this point I'm going to just play Syr and see what happens. Definitely. No good attacks, obviously, although if he blocks, it'll reduce his guy in power, and then he doesn't have a good return attack. I could see an argument for that, trading a rider for a dwarf to reduce his other dwarf. So attack or pass? I'm kind of liking the attack, actually. If there are no thoughts on that, then I will proceed with that. And we're going to leave back the Ginger Brute for obvious reasons. Alright, so he could crack back for 6. Or he could remove this and crack, well, he's going to crack back for 6 in any event. Ooh, he's getting back his dwarf. Oh no, what am I thinking? I was thinking of the other one. Good lord, how many of these guys has he got? Okay, guys, Monkus, no idea what you're saying here. Alright, I'm going to take 8 here. Not good. Alright, we're going to have to get rid of at least one of them in the very near future. Yeah. Nah, we'll take 8. I wonder how many he's gotten there. Oh, not what we wanted. Alright, we're gonna play land. And I'm going to pass the turn and possibly kill and trade. And hope that he does not have any more of these dwarves. So we've seen 4 already. It does seem to be that way. The most dwarves I've seen in any one deck so far has been, I think, 5. Yeah, I did pass. So if he attacks with all of his dwarves, which seems likely, I'll kill one of them and then block another one. I'd rather be strong in the force, I think. So auto pay, yeah, it doesn't matter. I'm down to 8, but he has 3 cards in hand. So I'm certainly going to block one of them. What do you think? Or I could block 2 and cash him in. I'd rather not. Block? What do you think? Block with Kara? I hate to lose it. I also hate to go to 5. I think I'd rather keep Syr Kara. If there are no thoughts, then I'm leaving it as is. Yeah, that's my feeling. Exactly. And I think we're going to get rid of the Ginger Brute. Not what we needed. Not what we needed. I could double block this guy next turn. Ugh. This is bad. Did he sack his egg? He had it. I thought he had a food token. Wow. All right, I have to block this guy. I guess I could just chump and... Oh boy, he's really laying it on. Alright, I think I have to chump him. And... So he... Alright, so... So I get... Well... Pinging him? Okay. So I'm going to block him, and I'm going to block him. And sure, let's ping. Ferocity of the Wilds. It's not what we needed right now. Sure, let's play a land. And... I guess... Oh, in order to get... I could... Alright, so that's interesting. Okay, so it sounds like Masaki's advice is to do this, but if I don't get something good, then I lose on the next turn. If I hold back the blocker, then it gives me a couple of turns. I think I have to hold off. Take 5 and ugh, don't like where this is. My inclination is to pass the turn, block him, and hope for a good card draw. And hope that he can't do anything additional on his turn. So that seems likely that he can't. Gains trample. I should have pinged him. That was, well, I don't think that's going to make a big difference. And he's got his own Syr Alin. Yep, that's game. All right, that was a bunch of dwarves there. So I think we can agree. I did not play that optimally, but I think we can also agree that even those little mistakes would have made no difference in that game. Not necessarily. Depends on what the next card in the library is. That was my daily quest. I do have to stop here, people. So thank you to everybody. So to all of my regulars, as always, thank you again for your support and continued advice. To our newcomers, the new guys on the block, thank you so much for joining our little community. I would love to see you again in the future. Our next stream and draft is scheduled for Friday midday, about the same time as today. And that will be about it. Let me go and see if any of my friends are streaming. Here's a guy. I very much hope so, Prehensile Wang. Thank you for your comment, one and all, and thank you, Censor, please. Okay, here's one of. Whoops, that's not what I wanted to do. Let me go back. Ugh. Okay, I'm still streaming, so let's go back. Okay, sorry about that. Okay, here we go. Raid. Let me try to type it in correctly. I so often do not. Active gamer fitness. All right, let's see if that works. Okay. So, before we raid, stay safe, everybody. Hope to see you next time. So long, everybody.